my time with the scene, and actually before my time with the scene as a fan. I always enjoyed going to the show because, you know, these guys, you never knew what was going to happen. And sometimes there were a couple of train wrecks, and we do that quite on occasion. But yeah, we had one earlier tonight. Dudley walked out. But that's just kind of the way we roll. That's what we do. At any rate, you know, thankfully Ben's fine, and God bless him. But at any rate, I've always kind of said going to a scene show is kind of like going to a NASCAR event because you just come for the wrecks and But here's a great song that Mike had a great intro on. I think it might have been on Act 3, and it was written by John Duffy and Ann Hill. And see if we can remember this one. It's called Reason for Being. Starlight shows the way I am going, searching for a dream that is always far ahead of the place and time and hope that I am knowing. So bless you, my friend, for caring, and thank you, my friend, for knowing. Sunshine of life is shining in your eyes. Gives my soul a reason for being. Child I was and felt of the glory that would be, but it was only a story, a fairy tale sure to be broken in time, as I found they were only my story. So bless you, my friend, for caring, and thank you, my friend, for knowing. The sunshine of life is shining in your eyes. It gives my soul a reason to be. Themselves turned into painted ponies that only spin in circles, never moving. The butterflies all died and the winter's wind cold. Dreams more slowly fade away as time's cold fingers fall. So bless you, my friend, for caring. Thank you, my friend, for knowing. The sunshine of life is shining in your eyes. It gives my soul a reason for being.
Always makes me well up.
I know. I have that effect on you. It scares me sometimes.
Well, we'll close with a Dean Martin song. We'd never like to play a show without knowing at least one Dean Martin's tunes. It's kind of another way we roll in.
It is. Plus Jerry Douglas requested this.
That's right, he did.
pizza
I
pie.
don't believe that's the one, Ben. But Ben has a beautiful. Oh, will I mess you up? Ben is, one of the things I think that makes Ben's banjo style so different is his ability to back up and, in this case, also kick off a slow ballad. And he's just said nothing really. But anyway, here's that Dean Martin song called "Small Exception to Me."
Everybody knows you're leaving me for good. Everybody tells me now they knew you would. It's a well-known secret I just couldn't see. And the whole world knew, with a small exception of me. Everybody knows we've cried our final tears. Everybody knows we've wasted all these years. Long ago they said I'd have to set you free, and the whole world knew, with a small exception of me. With a small exception of me, the world is wide. With a small exception of me, it's no surprise. So it's fun, the way that I could be so blind. Funny when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Now the truth has dawned, and it's plain enough to see that the whole world knew, with a small exception of me. That the whole world knew, with a small exception of
Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. When Mike finished his time with the Solivan scene, he went on and played with a bunch of great acts. Of course, he played with great people throughout his whole musical career. Obviously, we all know that. But here's a guy that he picked with for a while. A great singer, a great friend of mine, and I'm really proud to introduce him, Darren Beachley.
He's a seldom seen. It's an American institution. I used to when I was in the Country Gentleman, some nights I would go to the Red Fox. So that was a long time ago. And sometimes John Starling would be on call and he couldn't make it. So Mike would call and say, if you're in town, would you come down and I'd go down and Mike would play guitar. I would get to be Mike Auldridge for an hour or so until John got out of surgery. It's great. Nice talking to you.
Well, while you were being Mike Auldridge for an hour, I was probably watching you when I was like this big.
Hey, come on.
You and Mike. Because actually I have a funny story to tell about that. Actually, I started seeing Mike when I was about 1971, and I was 4 years old. And it wasn't long after that I started seeing you, but you weren't very old then either. You were only 12 maybe.
Yeah, maybe 12.
12, maybe.
Maybe like 5.
Well, you were the biggest 5-year-old I've ever seen, I can tell you.
I was big for my age.
So I've heard, anyway. Anyway, you know, we were talking
When will
about...
the talent ever start? Okay.
But actually...
Back to you, Darren.
Growing up in this area, as I did, there were 2 bands to see at the time, and it was the Seldom Scene and the Country Gentlemen, and I felt very honored to be able to see Mike and Jerry play dobro, and if it wouldn't have been for them, I wouldn't have became interested in the dobro, which I actually started as a dobro player, and then one day I woke up and decided that I found my voice and put the dobro in the trash can. I don't know why, I still just don't play it enough. I love the dobro, it's a great instrument. But it's really weird for me right now.
I like it myself.
Well, you should. Your checkbook says you do. But
Only my hairdresser knows.
never trade barbs with Jerry Douglas on stage. He's more comfortable with this than I am, apparently. But working with Mike and getting to see Mike through the ages, and then finally getting to work with him in a band, when I first went over for the first rehearsal, and I'll do this real quick, I went downstairs, and instantly the first thing I'm looking for is the ironing board. I could care less about anything else. Found the ironing board, and I tried to talk Mike into it the whole time of putting velvet ropes up around the ironing board, because in my mind it should have been like a Smithsonian exhibit, you know.
And tassels around the end.
But always enjoyed Wednesday rehearsals at Mike. We would start about I don't know, noon, something like that, and go till, or I might even started earlier because we'd have lunch, and that was actually more fun than the rehearsals. You know, rehearsals stink. You know, it's like work. I know you don't rehearse. I didn't want to bring that up, but it's a good thing you don't. Just think how good you could really be.
They're overrated, I think.
But anyway, this is a song that when we first put the band together, Tom's late wife, Sally Gray, I love this one so much, and Michael did too. And it's one called Jenny. Jenny was a little girl who lived just down the road, with braces on her teeth and freckles on her nose. When I used to tease her, she'd run home and tell her dad. I guess I was the older brother Jenny never had. I still remember Jenny always getting in my way, and how she used to pout when I'd say go on home and play. The other boys would tease me when she followed me around, so I'd head for the hiding place Jenny never found. Through the needles, down to the creek I would race before she'd catch her side. I get to be the best man, oh, but she's my best friend's bride. Before I let her see my heart, it's finally breaking down. I'm heading for the hideaways that Jenny never found. And through the knee-high weeds, down to the creek I will race. Before she catches me, I'll disappear without a trace. And there through the trees, I could see the tears on Jenny's face. 'Cause Jenny will never find me in my lonely hiding place. No, Jenny will never find me in my lonely hiding place. Thank you, folks.
Darren Beachley. Next up is a band that Mike spent a lot of time with, and they were breaking a lot of new ground. And some of it was, sometimes it was just dirt. Sometimes it was gold. But this is Chesapeake. It's Moody Klein. Moody Klein, T. Michael Coleman, Jimmy Gaudreau, and Rob Ickes.
All right, so everybody knew that Mike was very particular about how he needed to look at any given moment in time. I'm not going to go into the corn shirt incident because that's a really long story. But we had the wonderful pleasure of playing the Edmonton Folk Festival one time, and on our way back there was a huge thunderstorm in Toronto where we were supposed to get our flight, our second leg. And then they diverted us to Ottawa, and there were no other flights, right? And Chesapeake had 23 to 25 pieces of luggage. And
Just Mike's clothes.
just Mike's. So, and it's late at night, and there's no hotel rooms anywhere because everybody was diverted to Ottawa, and everything's gone. And so we linked together like 20 luggage carts into a corner and put all of our gear and stuff and instruments and everything. And we sort of slept around it, sort of like trying to protect all of our stuff. We learned that Muzak is better, it's not better in snippets. Because the audio system in the airport was sort of intermittent. It was malfunctioning, and you'd hear like, you'd get some little piece of a song and you'd recognize it, and then it would stop. And you'd wonder, was that Marvin Hamlish or what was going on? And then the announcements would come on, something like American people who are going to So we get through the night, not sleeping very much, and Mike, whose hair was always perfect, I wake up and I'm looking around and I see Mike, and he's sort of walking with this strange little strut sort of a thing, like he's got a song going on in his head, and he comes by me and his hair's like that, right? He comes by me and he goes, "All passengers must..." It was an astounding moment.
The cool thing about this band was it was an indulgence for all of us because we had all played with great bands, Jimmy, Country Gentleman, and I played with Doc, and Moondi played with the Metropolitan Opry. And it was a wonderful thing to get in Mike's basement and just explore all the things that we wanted to play musically. And it was quite a challenge. And I think Mike enjoyed it a lot. And we certainly miss playing with him, without a doubt.
Yeah, woof, well, sir, listen.
And an example of the indulgence that we sunk to is this song, correct?
Yeah, I guess so. Here's one written by Steve Gillette, right? It's called Darcy Farrow. 1, 2, 3.
There lived a maiden, Darcy Farrow was her name. She's the daughter of old Dudley, and a fair one was she. She's the sweetest flower that blooms o'er the rain. She was sweet as sugar candy. Her touch was as soft as a bed of goose down, and her eyes shone bright like pretty lights that shine in the night out of town. And she was courted by the young Vandermeer, and quite handsome was he, as I hear. He brought her silver rings and lacy things, and they promised to wed before the snows fell that year. But her pony, he did stumble, and she did fall. Her dying touched on the hearts of one and all. Young Bandy in his pain, he put a bullet through his brain, and we buried them together as the snows began to fall. Sing of Darcy Farrow, where the Truckee runs through. We sing of her beauty in Virginia City too. And at dusty sundown to her name we drink around. And to young Vandy, whose love was true. Oh, and the walker runs down into the Carson
result of 2 solid months of rehearsal in Mike's basement. 2 months we worked on that song.